All right, so it is finally upon us, the most bittersweet day of the year for me as a college football fan. It is the day of the college football playoff national championship. Think about it. In just a span of 3.5 hours, you go from the absolute pinnacle of college football to nothing. It's a roller coaster of emotions, and I appreciate the college football season, but when it comes to an end, you just you just kind of feel down because for 4 months, our lives revolve around this amazing sport, and then the lights just turn off like that. But now, we do have transfer portal, we do have NIL. It's almost like a whole free agency, so we have something to cling on to. So let's appreciate that, and let's appreciate those 3.5 hours of amazing football that we'll have before our very eyes on Monday night. So we've got the Washington Huskies and the Michigan Wolverines, and for many reasons, I think it's a very intriguing matchup. One of those reasons is because I feel like each team is going up against the complete opposite team that they played on Monday. Michigan is going up against a lot more of an explosive offense, but Washington's defense isn't nearly what Alabama's is. And Washington is going up against a much more stingy defense than Michigan, and they'll be presenting an explosive offense. So, Michigan having to defend that offense and Washington will go up against that defense, but Texas's secondary isn't great. So they were able to carve that up. Going against that Michigan defense is going to be tough. Whereas going against the Alabama defense is tough for Michigan, but going against Washington's defense will be easier. They'll be able to get to more of an offensive rhythm. So let's dive into this game here. Michigan. And I said going into the Rose Bowl, that defense is brutal to go up against. But until sitting down and watching that defense play for 60 minutes at the game's highest stage, I didn't understand just how ferocious it is. I didn't understand the magnitude of how ferocious it is. That defense is incredible. It's stingy. It's disruptive. Alabama never got into a rhythm. They always seemed very flustered on offense, and I attribute a lot of that to Michigan's defensive push. It's amazing. They play with full intensity on every play, and I think that they can significantly limit any offense in the nation. Listen to these numbers. They held Alabama to under 300 yards total in the Rose Bowl. Not just passing yards, 300 yards total. Alabama couldn't eclipse that. You want to know how many passing yards Alabama had Monday night? 116. In a semifinal game, 116 passing yards. That's defense if I ever saw one. However, I do have to add that Michigan's offense, it can be inconsistent at times. And there's a lot of times where it's not a really balanced attack. I didn't really see them get into a rhythm against Alabama now. Again, you have to credit Alabama's defense because who really, outside of Texas, who really did get into a rhythm against Alabama's defense this year? Really, nobody. Even LSU had a high-flying offense struggled at times against Alabama. So you have to credit Alabama's defense for that. But in order to keep up with this Washington team, because the fact of the matter is Washington is going to score. So Michigan is going to have to be better on the offensive side of the ball than they were in the Rose Bowl. I think they have a chance to be. I know that they have the players to do so with J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, Roman Wilson. I know that they have the guys to get it done. But they're going to have to execute. They're going to have to be a lot more consistent. Now, Washington. I was blown away by this team when they played Texas in the Sugar Bowl Monday night. And I always thought Washington was excellent this year. I thought that they were a clear-cut, bona fide playoff team. I made that video back in September about them saying, watch out for this team because they're dangerous. And guaranteed they were. Now I have to apologize to Washington fans from the bottom of my heart for picking against those Huskies 3 times in a row. I will never forgive myself for it. I was wrong, and I hold myself accountable. And I do have to say, I think you're going to like me by the end of this video. Not to spoil anything, but I think you're going to like me by the end of this video. Michael Penix Jr. He threw that ball like a javelin. It was unbelievable. He was slinging that thing like it was nothing on Monday night. It was effortless, right in the breadbasket every time. You'd see him, cock it and go and pass down fields, and that ball would be right where it needed to be every single time. And then that receiving core, Washington has a receiving core of guys that are not only fast, they know how to run routes. They're excellent route runners. Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, Jack Westover. They know how to get open. And that offense flows for that reason. You know what this Washington offense is like? Have you ever played NCAA Football 11? I played it a lot as a child. I still love the game now, and I thoroughly enjoy playing it. It's like playing with Boise State on that game. You've got a left-handed quarterback with a cannon, like Kellen Moore in that game. That's what Michael Penix Jr. is. And then you've got this core of receivers that is open on every play. It didn't matter if you hit the circle button, the X button, the triangle button, R1. You're going to throw it to somebody who's open. That's what it's like watching this Washington offense, and it's brilliant. It's amazing. And I think it's capable of beating anybody in college football, and good luck to anybody who has to go up against it. It's just like Michigan's defense. Best of luck to anybody who has to face it. I like numbers. When I talk about games like this, I'm going to mention another number here. Washington's offense, 532 total yards of offense. Over 500 yards of offense in a semifinal game. It's just as impressive as holding a team to under 150 yards of passing. Just mind-blowing. Ultimately, in this game, I think Washington's offense is too fluid for Michigan to keep up with. Yes, Michigan's defense is stingy, and God bless anybody who has to go up against it, because it's tough to play. You're going to feel beat up afterwards, and Washington will. But I think that those weapons and Washington's fluidity on offense is just a little bit too much. It's going to be tough to defend that for 4 quarters. And Seattle, Husky Nation, like I said, you're going to love me for this one. I'm siding with the purple and gold here. 35-23. And it's going to be time for Husky Nation to party like it's 1991. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you and the time that you took out of your day to watch the video. And if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and share it, as well as subscribe to The Era. The more likes and subscribers I get on this channel, the more resources I can attain, and the more resources I can attain, the more value I can provide to you, the viewer. And that is how I show my appreciation for you for the time that you devote to watching my videos. So thank you so much, and have a great day.